Greetings everybody. My name is Vivek Kasala and I am from Institute of Aeronautical Engineering College. I am a student of branch CSC and of section D. Today I am here to present a tech talk on the topic a comparative review on renewable energy application, difficulties and future prospect. Moving on to the next slide, contents. This topic has a total of 10 subtopics. Now we are going to have a glance on over all the 10 subtopics one by one. The first subtopic is what is renewable energy. The second subtopic is types of renewable energy. The third subtopic is applications of solar energy. The fourth type of subtopic is applications of wind energy. The fifth subtopic is application of hydrogen and hydro energy. The sixth subtopic is application of biomass energy. The seventh subtopic is application of biofuels. The eighth subtopic is ocean and tidal energy. The ninth subtopic is difficulties in renewable energy. The 10th subtopic is future prospects of renewable energy. Now I am going to explain the subtopics in a deep and a thorough manner. Moving on to the next slide. The first subtopic is what is renewable energy. Renewable energy is energy that is collected from renewable resources that are naturally replenished on a human time scale. The second point, renewable resources are virtually inexhaustible in duration, but limited in the amount of energy that is available per unit of time. The major types of renewable energy sources are biomass, wood, and wood waste. Now, this can be explained in simple and short words. Renewable energy is formed from renewable resources that are naturally renewed on a human timescale. And these resources are inexhaustible but limited in the amount of energy. Moving on to the next slide. The continuation of the first subtopic, what is renewable energy? Renewable energy resources are also called non-conventional energies or sources that are continuously replenished by natural processes. The second point is the renewable energy system converts energy found in sunlight, wind, falling water, sea waves, geothermal heat, or biomass into a form which we can use such as heat or electricity. So in simple and short words, it can be explained as renewable sources of energy or the renewable energy, or also called as non-conventional energies or clean sources of clean energies or clean sources of energies. Renewable energy sources are generally sources which can be naturally replenished or renewed during a time scale. And the second point explains that a renewable energy, what it does is it converts sunlight, wind, falling water, sea waves, geothermal heat or biomass into heat or electricity, which can be used in various ways. Moving on to the next slide. The second subtopic is types of renewable energy. Examples of renewable energy. So the first example of renewable resources is solar energy. The second type of renewable resources or the renewable energy or biofuels. The third type of renewable energy is the hydrogen energy. And the fourth type of renewable energy is the hydropower energy. And the fifth type of renewable energy is tidal energy. And the sixth type of renewable energy is ocean thermal energy. And the seventh type of renewable energy is wind energy. And the eighth kind of renewable energy is geothermal energy. And the ninth kind of renewable energy is biomass energy. The 10th kind of renewable energy is biogas energy. Now I'm going to explain all these renewable energies in a thorough manner. Moving to the next slide, applications of renewable energy. So the first kind of renewable energy is solar energy. It is the radiant light and heat from the sun that is harnessed using a range of technologies. Now, in simple words, it can be explained as the light and heat from the sun obtained as solar energy, and the solar energy is exploited through various technologies, and it is converted into heat or electricity. And in the above diagram, we can see that the above diagram represents the harnessing of solar energy. Moving on to the next slide, the third subtopic, applications of solar energy. The first kind of application of solar energy found is solar water heaters. Solar energy can be converted into thermal energy with the help of solar collectors and receivers known as solar thermal devices. This thermal energy is used in homes and factories to heat water. And the second kind of application of solar energy we can find is all the solar cookers and solar ovens. A black surface vessel is used to convert energy to heat. And solar cookers and solar ovens are used for cooking food. So in simple and short words, solar water heaters can be explained as the solar energy obtained is converted into thermal energy with the help of solar collectors and receivers, where the solar collectors and receivers are known as solar thermal devices. Then this thermal energy or thermal energy obtained is then used in homes and factories to heat water. And in the second application of solar energy, solar cookers and solar ovens. So these are the solar energy is harnessed by using a black surfaced material or a sheet on a and this black material sheet converts the sunlight coming from the sun and to heat, to thermal energy or to thermal energy. So we know that black color, the black substance or black color is the best absorber of heat. So through the phenomenon of this, solar energy is harnessed to convert by using a black surface vessel, and which converts sunlight energy to heat. And this phenomenon is can be seen in using for cooking food in homes. Moving on to the next slide. So the third kind of application of solar energy is solar electricity. Photovoltaics or solar panels generate electricity directly from sunlight via an electronic process. This electricity is used in the operation of calculators, home appliances such as fans, lights, etc., and watches. And the fourth kind of application of solar energy is solar transportations. So solar powered vehicles may be the future with existing applications including buses, trains, aeroplanes, and cars. So solar electricity is obtained by the usage of photovoltaics or solar panels, and where the sunlight is directly converted into electricity through photovoltaics or solar panels, and which undergoes an electronic process. Through after that electronic process, the sunlight is converted into electricity. And we see in our daily lives, this solar electricity is used in our calculators, home appliances such as fans and lights and watches. To the fourth application of solar energy, the solar transportation. Now we see that there is such a growth in the development of science and technology. In future, we may also see solar power vehicles, such as the usage of solar power buses, solar power trains, solar powered aeroplanes, and solar powered cars. Moving on to the next slide, wind energy. Wind turbines convert the kinetic energy in the wind into mechanical power. A generator can convert mechanical power into electricity. So, in simple and short words, it can be explained that the wind turbines or the windmills convert the kinetic energy found in the wind into mechanical energy, and then the mechanical energy is converted into electricity or electrical energy through a generator, and the generator is found inside the windmills or the wind turbines. Moving on to the next slide. Moving on to the fourth subtopic, applications of wind energy. So the first application of wind energy is water pumps. Water pumps which uses mechanical energy, where the mechanical energy is obtained from wind energy through many processes. And the second application of wind energy are sailing boats. And the third application of wind energy is home appliances and industries through wind electrical energy, fans, lights, etc. And the fourth application of wind energy is wind battery charges. And the fifth application of wind energy is wind electricity generators. And the sixth application of wind energy is parasailing. And the seventh application of wind energy is kite surfing. And the eighth application of wind energy is the hang gliding. So in simple and short words, it can be said that wind energy is used in wind energy is harnessed in variety of ways, such as it is used in water pumps, which makes use of the mechanical energy. Then it is also used in our everyday lives, in home appliances and industries, as it powers our fans and lights in our homes. And it is also the wind energy is also harnessed in many of the adventure sports such as sailing boats, wind battery charges, parasailing, kite surfing, and hang gliding. And wind energy is also used in wind battery charges, and wind energy is also used in wind electricity generators. Moving on to the next slide. The next kind of renewable energy is hydro energy. So the first point here is turbines and generators in dams convert kinetic energy of flowing water into mechanical energy, and then to electricity. And the second point here is the potential energy of falling water is converted to mechanical energy and further to electricity through various technologies. Now, going to the previous slides, we can see here a diagram or a picture where we can see a windmill farm in a hilly and a mountainous region, which which is used to harness wind energy and converts them into a form such as electricity. So now coming back to hydro energy, so the kinetic energy of flowing water in dams is converted into mechanical energy, and then the mechanical energy is converted into electricity by the usage of turbines and generators. So turbines and generators are present in dams. In the second point, we can see that example found in waterfalls, such as the potential energy of falling water in waterfalls is converted into mechanical energy, and then the mechanical energy is converted into electricity by using various technologies. So now we can see here a diagram, so, or this picture is of a huge and a large dam which is used to harness hydro energy. Moving on to the next slide. The fifth subtopic is applications of hydro energy. So the first application of hydro energy is controlling of floods, and the second application of hydro energy is irrigation canals, and the third application of hydro energy is agricultural water pumps, and the fourth kind of application of hydro energy is clean water, drinking water, and the fifth application of hydro energy is it is used in the operation of home appliances and in industries. So in simple and short words, it can be explained that hydro energy is harnessed in many ways. It can be used for controlling floods. It can be used in irrigation canals, which is then in turn used in farming. And then it is used in agricultural water pumps for agriculture. And then it is used to provide clean drinking water, and then it is used also in the operation of home appliances and in industries. And we can see the usage of hydro energy in our everyday lives, such as it powers our fans, lights, and other home appliances. Now moving on to the next kind of renewable energy, biomass energy. Now below we can see a diagram of biomass energy. We can see in this diagram that how biomass energy is being harnessed through a very long and a huge process, which takes many days to complete. And then biomass energy is harnessed in many ways, as it is used or as heat or electricity. Moving on to the next slide. So biomass energy. Uh, Moving on to the continuation of biomass energy, it is formed from biomass, which includes byproducts from the wood industry, agricultural crops, raw materials, household waste, etc., which undergoes various chemical processes in biogas plants. And the next point is biomass is plant or animal material waste used as fuel to produce heat or electricity. And so in simple and short ways, it can be explained that how biomass energy is obtained, as it is obtained through biomass, where biomass is plant or animal material, including agricultural crops, raw materials, household waste, excreta of animals, and these all this biomass and this material is put into a biogas plant, and under this biogas plant they undergo many chemical processes, and this process takes place for many days, and after this the biomass energy is obtained. Now moving on to the next subtopic, the sixth subtopic, applications of biomass energy. So the first application of biomass energy is electricity generation in home appliances. And the second application of biomass energy is cooking. And the third application of biomass energy is hot water heating. And the fourth application of biomass energy is mechanical applications. So in simple and short words, it can be said that the how biomass energy is harnessed. It is harnessed in many ways, such as is used in our daily lives in home appliances. It powers up lights and fans, and is also used in cooking, and it is also used in hot water heating, which can be used to heat water in our homes and industries, and it is also used in various mechanical applications. So now moving on to the next slide. Moving on to the next, renewable energy, biofuels. Biomass can be converted directly into liquid fuels called biofuels. So in short words, biofuels can be explained as biofuels or liquid fuels which are obtained or is a product of biomass. Moving on to the next subtopic, the seventh subtopic, applications of biofuels. So the first application of biofuels are transportation needs, such as transportation needs or cars, trucks, trains, and aeroplanes. So in simple and short words, it can be explained that biofuels are used in transportation or in automobile industries, such as it is used in the usage of, such as used uh, in the working of cars, trucks, trains, and aeroplanes. So now moving on to the next subtopic, the eighth subtopic, ocean and tidal energy. So the tidal energy is produced by the natural rise and fall of ocean tides and currents and is converted to electricity by using turbines and paddles. So in simple and short words, it can be explained as the tidal energy or found in the oceans. Tidal energy is obtained by the tides, the currents, and the waves of the ocean water, and it is converted into electricity through various technologies such as the turbines and paddles, where the turbines or paddles are found in the ocean. So now we can see in the diagram given in the diagram, we can see that how the tidal energy is being harnessed in the ocean, where the turbines and paddles and other various technologies are set up inside the ocean or on the shore of the ocean, so that it can convert tidal energy into various forms such as electricity. And then from here the tidal energy is converted into electricity. That electricity is used in our everyday lives to power up home appliances and is used in industries and other and used in and used also as in other forms. Moving on to the next slide. Moving on to the next subtopic, the ninth subtopic, difficulties in renewable energy. So the first kind of difficulty in renewable energy is cost and maintenance issue. The high initial cost of installation of the technologies required to produce renewable energy is one of the major hurdles in the development of renewable energy. In the next point is in particular the cost associated with building, installing, and maintaining facilities like solar or wind farms. So in simple ways, it can be explained that the installation of technologies which is used to harness renewable energy is very expensive and of high cost and of pricey, This example can be seen in the harnessing of solar and wind energy, where solar and wind energy are harnessed through solar panels and windmills, where they take a huge, they're very expensive to build and install. So the moving on to the second point, or the second difficulty in renewable energy, is availability of power. The lack of power storage at all times of the day is another drawback. And the second point, the renewable sources generate most of the energy at certain times of the day. Its electricity generation does not match with the peak demand hours. The intermittency of sunshine and can wind cannot provide on an on-demand power source 24 hours a week. Solar energy and wind are unpredictable. So in simple and short words, it can be explained as the power or the energy production from the renewable resources, the renewable plants, renewable energy is not very consistent. So example can be seen as in the harnessing of solar energy and wind energy. Example, the sun rises in the morning and sets in the and is not present. The sun is not present during the evening and the night hours. So we can see that there is a lot of inconsistency in the production of uh, solar energy cannot be obtained harnessed throughout the day. And uh, and the other kind of problem we see is in wind farms and in the production of wind energy, as we can say that uh, the it every day is not a very wind day. For the production of wind energy, we need we need winds and we need winds which are moving in a very high speed and high energy, so that it can move, so that the winds can move the windmills. So if the windmills move, then the wind energy can be harnessed into heat and electricity. So it is also very inconsistent, as every day cannot be a windy day. Moving on to the next slide. So moving on to the continuation of the ninth subtopic, the difficulties in renewable energy is the third kind of difficulty found in obtaining renewable energy is lack of infrastructure. Lack of infrastructure is a barrier to renewable development. The second point, the present infrastructure of renewable energy is mainly built for fossil fuel plants and nuclear plants. So, in simple and short words, it can be explained as that lack of infrastructure is another problem for renewable energy development or the harnessing of renewable energy. And nowadays, we can also see that renewable energy, the installations or the places where the renewable energy can be harnessed, or the places are being harnessed in places or in areas where these areas were meant for harnessing fossil fuels and nuclear plants. So this is also a problem. Now, moving on to the fourth difficulty in obtaining renewable energy, or non-renewable energy monopoly. Solar, wind, and other renewable sources of energy have to rival the well-established fossil fuel industry. And the second point is the fossil fuel industry hinders adoption of clean energy by undermining climate change. So in simple and short words, it can be explained as for many decades, fossil fuel industry has been very popular and has been used for many decades and centuries. So, solar, wind, and other renewable sources of energy are very upcoming and latest kind of renewable energies. And it becomes very difficult for these renewable sources of energy to battle with the well-established or the well-constructed fossil fuel industry. Moving on to the next slide. So the fifth kind of difficulty in renewable energy is resource location. The first point, renewable energy plants require large areas of space. And the second point, some renewable energy sources are simply not available in different regions, as renewable energy sources depend on weather, climate, and geographical location. So in simple and short words, it can be explained that renewable energy plants requires huge and large areas of space, which may be off-putting to many people, and every region or every geographical place is not made for every kind of renewable energies. Example, a particular place will be made is suitable for a particular kind of renewable energy. Example, solar energy place which is used for harnessing solar energy cannot be used for harnessing wind energy or hydro energy or any other kind of uh, renewable energy. And so it is for, and this is also applicable for other renewable energies. Like example, a place which is used for harnessing wind energy cannot be used for harnessing solar energy or hydro energy or any other kind of renewable energies. And vice versa, this is also used in example, solar energy and wind energy cannot be harnessed in dams or production places where hydro energy is harnessed. So that is why renewable energy resources depend heavily on weather, climate, and geographical location. Moving on to the next kind of difficulty in obtaining renewable energy is transmission. It is the sixth kind of difficulty. So, to sufficiently leverage renewable resources, a great deal of new transmission transfer infrastructure is required. This raises issue for renewable energy sources not located near existing infrastructure. In short and simple words, it can be explained that the distance between the renewable energy sources and the renewable energy plants or the areas where renewable energy is harnessed is or very far, and generally it takes a lot of time and energy, and it becomes very expensive and costly for transporting renewable energy resources to the renewable energy plants. So this is a common transmission infrastructure which must be improved, and so that it does not create any problem in the future. Moving on to the next slide. The seventh kind of difficulty in the harnessing of the renewable energy is lack of knowledge and awareness. Lack of knowledge and awareness of renewable energy technology makes people reluctant to use it. There is a lack of information and awareness of the benefits and the need of renewable energy. So in simple and short words, it can be explained that even though renewable sources of energy or the new and the upcoming and the latest kind of energy, but still scientists and engineers are still learning and are still unaware and are still not fully updated uh, regarding renewable energy, and and still they lack information awareness about renewable energy. Moving on to the next kind of difficulty in renewable energy. It is the eighth kind of difficulty in renewable energy is the politics. Multi-billion-dollar industries tend to wield massive political influence, and the non-renewable energy industry is no exception. The fossil fuel industry has actively lobbied by politics against greater adoption of renewable energy and undermined climate change. So, in simple and short words, it can be explained that in many countries or in many democratic countries, we can see that the government always keeps changing, and the government's interest in renewable and harnessing renewable sources of energy is very differing and very different, and it keeps on changing. So we also see that the governments they do is they try to be partial towards the fossil fuel plants, and they try to ignore the renewable sources of energy. Now moving on to the next slide. Now moving on to the 10th subtopic, future prospects of renewable energy. Environmental and economic benefits of using renewable energy include generating energy that produces no greenhouse gas emissions from fossil fuels and reduces some types of air pollutions. The second one is in diversifying energy supply and reducing dependence on imported fuels. And third is creating economic development and jobs in manufacturing, installation, and more. So, in simple and short words, it can be explained that there is no arguing that renewable sources of energy or the clean sources of energy, and they do not pollute the environment or the atmosphere, and comparing them to greenhouse gas, comparing them to the fossil fuels, and has fossil fuels produce greenhouse gases, renewable energy do not produce greenhouse gases, and they do not cause air pollution, and other use and other important factor of renewable energy that it diversifies energy supply. It also reduces the importing of fuels. Example, we import and export fuels from various countries, so it reduces the importing of fuels. And it what a renewable source of energy also does is that it creates employment, creates jobs, um, by doing that, by creating jobs, it also helps in improving the economic development of the kind of any country. So now moving on to the next slide. It is the continuation of the 10th subtopic, the future prospects of renewable energy. Renewable energy capacity is said to expand by 50% between 2019 and 2024, led by solar energy. So there are predictions that solar will become 35% cheaper by 2024. China is expected to register the largest installed residential solar capacity in the world by 2004. Then next is onshore wind energy capacity will increase 57% by 2024. Annual onshore wind additions will be led by the US and the China. Moving on to the next slide. Now it is the continuation of the 10th subtopic, the future prospects of renewable sources of energy. So continuing on to the predictions of renewable energy, hydroelectricity capacity will rise by 9% by 2024. Hydroelectricity capacity is said to increase by 9%, 121 GV, that is gigawatts, over the forecast period, led by China, India, and Brazil. Geothermal capacity will increase by 28% by 2024. India is one of the most dynamic and vibrant markets in the world for the renewable energy. The country possesses a wealth of renewable resources, particularly for solar and bioenergy development. Greater integration of renewables would improve energy access for poor communities and boost overall energy security. And here and as the geothermal energy refers to the heat or the thermal energy which is found inside the earth, and this thermal energy and the heat is used in various forms or converted into various forms such as electricity. Moving on to the next slide. What would be the best renewable energy source for the future? So this is the continuation of the subtopic, which is the future prospects of renewable energy. The two cleanest sources of energy production are solar power and wind energy, both of which are seeing increasing popularity both in production for residences and for the national grid. And moving on to the second point, these renewable options are extremely promising in what they'll be able to do for us in the future. Not only in clean zero emission energy they produce, but also in what they can do for local economies. Wind power offers huge increase in local employment and funding. Solar panels bring a potential long-term option available to anyone with a rooftop, but installation costs remain incredibly high. So, in short words, it can be said that in the future, solar power and wind energy are going to be very popular and are going to be the new latest and the upcoming kind of renewable energy. As solar energy and wind energy are one of the most cleanest renewable resources of energy, renewable energies among all the different kinds of renewable energy. Now moving on to the next slide. So now this is the continuation of the future prospects of renewable energy. So the question here is 100% renewable energy possible? Yes, the whole world can run on renewable energy sources, but it is going to take time, with some countries having an easier time transitioning than others. Now moving on to the next question. Why is clean energy important to our future? Global health will improve, fewer floods and droughts will occur. Renewable energy sources like wind power promote economic growth, and clean energy resources create jobs. Sustainable energy resources are a more steady source of revenue, and renewable energy is far better for the environment. So all these different kinds of advantages of renewable advantages which uh, which are inside renewable energies make them important to our future. Now moving on to the next slide. Thank you. I really hope you guys have gained a huge knowledge and understanding uh, of renewable energy through my tech talk. And I'm really grateful for you guys having the patience to listen to my tech talk. Thank you. But before finishing, we're going to complete another slide. How will the next question or then the continuation of the future prospects of renewable energy is how will renewable energy help the environment? It's a clean energy source, so it helps cease the production of harmful chemicals and halts the need for destructive, scarring, mining practices. The ozone layer will be able to recover, our air will become purer, and we won't see ecosystems destroyed in the name of powering our world. So, in simple words, it can be explained that the outcomes or the consequences of using renewable energy are the exactly the opposite of the outcomes and the consequences of using non-renewable energy. Example, using of fossil fuels. Therefore, we can conclude that renewable energy help the environment. Moving on to the next question. What will energy be like in 2050? How will we meet our energy needs in the future? If many countries achieve their goals, we will be in a world largely powered by renewable energy. If you care about the future of our world and our needs of an energy needs, it's time to make the switch to renewable energy today. It's easy to choose a clean energy source, and it only takes 5 minutes to do so. So, in simple and short words, it can be explained that many countries now are taking a huge interest on moving towards renewable energy. So, it is very near in the future that renewable source of energy will replace non-renewable sources of energy, and but still, it is not all perfect. Many countries are not able to reach their goals, but still there is a lot of hope that the whole world will run by harnessing renewable sources of energy. So I really hope you guys have gained valuable information and knowledge through my deep and thorough explanation of my tech talk on the topic a comparative review on renewable energy, its difficulties, its applications, and its future prospect. Now moving on to the next slide. Thank you.